Palantir is a public American software company that specializes in big data analytics, so it's quite a complex business. Before we get into it, this is not financial advice, our opinion, our research, and our reasoning. So, Palantir started as a business that built products for the US defense and intelligence agencies. Their software, quote, enables users to identify patterns hidden deep within datasets. So now they've also expanded into the private sector, helping, quote, organizations interact with information by creating a central operating system for their data. So this is a complex business. Now, bit off topic, one of the best books that I've ever read is called 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel, and it covers economics, startups, business, you name it. And guess what? Peter Thiel is one of the co-founders of Palantir. Their management is probably one of the best out there, very forward-thinking, very passionate about what they do and their vision and where they're going, and they've got a great track record. So the management includes Peter Thiel, Stephen Cohen, and then the CEO, Alex Karp. Alex Karp just looks like a genius. Look at that area. Doesn't he just look like a genius? But he is a genius. So all these management involved, especially Peter Thiel, that I know personally reading his book. He was one of the co-founders of PayPal, as well as an early investor in Facebook. So, like I said, it's a complex business and people either love it or they hate it. But because of their complex solutions, it can act as a great barrier to entry for new entrants. So, in short, Palantir's mission is to become the most important software business in the world. If that happens, you can make their own calculations of what may happen to the share price. It's currently around 30 billion market cap. The question you should ask yourself, do you think this market cap, their valuation can go to 500 billion, 600 billion? If it's 600 billion, you basically make 20 times your money. And that's the question you should ask yourself. So Palantir is involved with some big dogs. They have big clients. Their clients include the CIA, FBI, Ferrari, Airbus, Morgan Stanley, etc. All their clients are big clients. So landing just one contract, so landing a new contract or renewing a contract can mean millions of dollars because they are involved with these big dogs. Some say Alex Karp, the CEO, is maybe another Steve Jobs. A few years to go for that, but let's see. So Palantir is not profitable yet, as they are investing heavily in new products, expansion, and just growing the business. The revenues are currently growing at around 50%. So that is a great growth, especially for a big company. They've been around for 17 years, so they've got a good track record of actually building a business. So they are focusing on aspects like business analytics, predictions, fraud prevention. So in short, artificial intelligence by making better solutions to various problems. So they have two main products. They are solving the problems through the products, which is Gotham and Foundry. So Gotham is where they supply solutions to the governments and agencies, and then Foundry is more enterprise model, so they are supplying to enterprises. So they recently also spent a lot of money on marketing expenses, marketing and sales, and that is probably because they are also looking to go to the enterprise side of things of the world. And personally, I believe there's a lot of potential in the commercial model for them because if you look at the governments and agencies, somewhere they will reach a cap in that. There is only so many governments, only so many agencies. But in the enterprise area and commercial, there is so much opportunity, and that's what I love. So when we released the stock pick on Palantir on the FinMeUp app, it was trading at $18. Then later that evening, it just shot the lights out, growing by 15%, 2% after hours. So now it's around 21%, already a 19% increase. So just quickly, the stock picks is where we share which companies we are buying, holding, and selling with our reasoning and research. If you look at our 30 stock picks that we've issued so far this year, we issue about 2 stock picks a year. The average return on the 30 stocks was 58.4%. The best performing stock was Tesla. Worst performing stock was A2 Milk. That was down 30%. So we're very transparent with what we do. So that is the stock picks on the FinMeUp app, one of the features. So the market cap is around just above 30 billion at the moment. And they are quite expensive now if you look at the price to sales. But this is where you should decide. Do you think they are a consulting firm, or do you think they are an artificial intelligence / software company? If you think it's a software company, then there's a lot of potential to go even way more. And something that's also happening now is also another type of FOMO factor. People have a fear of missing out on buying Palantir shares while they are still relatively small, if you think of what they could be. Personally, I love their management. I like that they have a complex business model, as that's a barrier to entry. And I love the enterprise potential that they have in that space, as they also help companies save money, the data analytics, the predictions, the forecasts, the behavior. So I like that about them, but I love their management. So the share price had already had a very nice run after the IPO, more than 100% increase from the lows in a very short time. And because they IPO'd only recently, you can expect some short-term volatility ahead. So some confidence factor is that, first of all, ARK Invest, led by Cathie Woods, which is the best performing fund, I think, in the world. But they were early investors in Tesla, Square, Teladoc, all these companies that are disruptive, innovative, and changing the industries and changing behaviors. So they have a great track record, and they recently invested in Palantir. And if you look at Cathie Woods and ARK Invest's history, they usually start their positions very small and build it from there. That's what they did with Tesla, with Square, with all their big holdings. And they recently invested in Palantir, so that is a great confidence boost that they see this company has potential to disrupt and to just grow amazingly over the long term. So this is definitely, for me, a long-term play. And whatever happens in the short term, I don't really care. If there is short-term downward movements, I'll look to buy more. If it increases, I'll enjoy the ride and just wait for any more dips to buy more, as my strategy for Palantir is to dollar cost average. So what that means is buy, and if it goes up, great. If it dips a bit, buy more. And every time it goes lower, I'll buy more, as that will help with the average purchase price. So if their mission to become the greatest or the most important software company in the world, you can expect them to be a massive company if they manage to do that. So if you invest in Palantir, you invest in the management, the complex business, and that is something you should consider. Are you prepared to invest in the complex business? Try to understand it as best as possible. Go through their website, go through the interviews. There's plenty of resources or ways you can look at their interviews, like on YouTube, and that will help you to understand it better and get a better grip on it. Because this is such a unique business, you can expect it to make a lot of headlines over the next few years. And like I said, people either love it or they hate it. So the people that hate it might write some bad stuff about them. If you only look at the headlines and you don't truly understand why you invested in the company or for how long, you might make emotional decisions reading the headlines, and emotional decisions can, not always have the best outcome, because headlines can influence emotions, and emotions can influence decisions, and decisions can influence execution. So that is a quote there. So their products, because it's so complex, once again, they are very sticky. So once they get a new client on board, it is very unlikely that they will lose that client. Their management is forward thinking, and they plan 5-10 years ahead. They look at where will this industry be, where can we be in 5-10 years time, and then they plan for that way before, which is also a great thing. In the short term, the share price has some very nice momentum. I'm expecting sometime the share price will have some sort of a dip. I'll be looking to buy more then. I think I might just buy a bit more tonight to just increase my position a bit more, as I really like this company. I like what it can be. It is a little bit of a risky company because they are so involved with these big clients and government contracts. So losing one client can affect their financials, but they have a very sticky product. So I'm not too worried about that. And one thing to keep in mind is that they are still in lockup period. So what a lockup period is, when a company IPOs, so what happened in Palantir's case, the early employees, the management that have shares from way back, they can only sell their shares after a certain period of time after the company listed. So that is what's happening now. The employees, the management that have shares, they can't sell their shares yet. They are still in lockup period. That's what it means. Lockup period ends 31 December, which then allows employees and management to sell some of their shares if they want cash or if they just want to get rid of some of their shares. This can mean that there might be some downward pressure on the share price if the management or employees decide to sell their shares. But I believe that would only be a short-term effect on the share price, and if that happens and you see any proper dips, I will look to buy more. So let's see what happens then. But this is a long-term investment for me, and I'm looking to add more to my portfolio. I'll keep a close track on what ARK Invest is doing. I'll just go deeper into the business, and we'll update you on this company probably once every 6 months on the FinMeUp app, where we'll write a new stock pick. So you can go check out the FinMeUp app on the apps on Google Play. Also on the FinMeUp website, we have some cool stuff there, but let's not waste your time. You can have a look at that. So my approach is to dollar cost average. When it dips, I'll buy more. If it goes up, I'll enjoy the ride. So let's see what happens, and let us know what you think of Palantir. Are you invested in them? Are you looking to invest? Do you like them? Don't you like them? And if you found this video useful, consider liking and subscribing and sharing, so we can reach more people and educate more people. Have a great day. Cheers.